What is up, party people? All right, let me go and get some things situated. Now, one second. Where is it? There it is. All right, we're gonna go now. So, what's up, people? If you guys want to join the panel, go ahead and hit that link that I've been putting in the chat. The old one in the description doesn't work, obviously, but I will fix that shortly. But yeah, you guys can join the panel, just listen in, or just bullshit in the chat, and we'll go from there. Get that link out there again. And let me move over to the panel. Got no rants, nothing to say really. I mean, besides the obvious, blah, blah, blah. I do ask that anyone that does join the panel understand that I do not entertain false pretenses. So please come with something. If you are going to jump the panel and you do know what I mean. Let me go ahead and jump over to the panel and see what the hell they are all jibber jabbering about.
I'm surprised he hasn't been booted from every single Flat Earth server, considering it's a well-known fact that he is actually a troll and he doesn't believe anything he says.
He's the one that...
Sean.
Hello.
Keep on. I apologize.
Mic check.
Who are you guys talking about? Just so I know.
Well, Right the Hand is the one that got Brenda triggered to the level of... He's one of the most powerful triggered videos on YouTube today when she's going off. Oh, F off, I'm gonna let nobody talk. With the male's voice, Brenda lost it. But it was because of Right the Hand.
Link, please.
Right the Hand's the same guy that sent out the leak saying he was never a flat earther, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because who sent that to me? I forget who sent it to me. You could probably recognize the name, but yeah. I mean, let me go ahead and show you guys. Because that's old news now. I mean, that was a while ago. I don't know if it'll show up on there it goes. I'll show that.
Yeah, he was on my server for like 2.5 hours. I recorded everything. I gotta review it, and I know a lot of good interactions went down. But he was so shouty because whatever he's at, he has to just non-stop talk, And it's a tricky situation when he's on a...
Can I get a mic check, though?
Yeah, mic check.
Yeah.
Thank you. Testing out on the computer.
No worries. Yeah. I didn't know. Hey, Brian, you're the one who told me about it. Right to hand, he sparred with what's her face, Tara or something.
Yeah, he rolled with Tara LaRosa, and she took it real easy on him and submitted him twice.
Yeah, I watched it. He has some kind of background, doesn't he? Something like a pure white belt.
He's watched MMA on TV.
Would you like to be in an octagon with him, Shanji?
Say again?
Would you like to be in an octagon with him or a cage or something for a round with Ryder?
Honestly, no. I fighting with someone with no training is not fun.
I would take that. Somebody want to set it up?
You've been trying to get a fight for a long time, Crash. I don't think you're gonna get one, buddy.
I about got one with Chris when he told me my old lady must be overweight, fat, and ugly earlier.
Oh, you should. So, are you guys on your way to Texas right now?
That went down earlier, right? So I went down. Chris Berry joined the chat, and off they go. I think it was Crashes or his lady. They type in the chat, "Hey, Chris Berry, like, oh, my husband can press bench you like with one arm. He can lift you up with one arm." What did Chris Berry do? You effing overweights and whatever. He started insulting big time back in the chat, and then he had to go with Carlos. You little soy boy haircut, and he was insulting everybody. So what did I do? I booted him even before he spoke. What did he do? He went whining to the chat. Oh, Jose's censoring me because they're bullying me. They're attacking me in the chat, and because I told him something back, I said, like, Chris Berry, bro, they told you a joke. He can lift you up with one arm. What did you do? He personally attacked everybody in the chat. I go like, what is wrong with you, Chris, man? It's so wrong.
Chris messed up with B-ball as well, doing the same shit. Where it's just like, dude, you don't have like your filter's broken, is what I call it.
Just for the record, I'm okay with the soy boy comment since I always call him a soy boy. So
it's true, you do.
That was a playful thing.
So he didn't have to attack personally Crashes and his wife.
Right.
No. Comments. I don't want to repeat him. It was unnecessary.
Right. I'm just saying, like, as far as calling me a soy boy haircut, that's understandable because we go back and forth with that. So.
Yeah, I've heard you guys joke around about it. In fact, I think you guys did it on one of my a couple streams ago. You guys were joking. I don't know why Chris does that. I think he just has a really bad day and then gets on a panel and takes that on everyone.
Well, when he doesn't get his dose of soy, he kind of just loses it a little bit.
He doesn't have a good sense of humor. He doesn't have a sense of humor. That's all.
He does, but it's not. He just doesn't take stuff very well.
It's sour.
Yeah.
Sour soy milk.
Okay, hang on. So Stingray told me something in the chat a little while ago that I kind of want to find out what the hell happened. He said Ranty like shouted me out, and I'd like to know if it was good or bad.
Wasn't it on here where he was talking about trying to bulk up and add muscle mass?
Yeah, he asked me to talk to him about it at the end of the last stream, but I didn't get a chance to.
Dean's deafened, so unless he's listening out in the main chat, we're kind of without him now.
Does anybody know about that? I just want to know what he was said.
I don't know. All I know is Arwin went to my chat today and he said, "Oh, Jose, Ranty blocked me in his channel," and he won't even address it. So Arwin is just blocked, and Ranty don't say why he blocked Arwin. Aww.
Don't they do like every other day where like they hate each other and they love each other and they hate each other and they love each other? It's like in the back room, Nathan and Ranty are like, "Arwin, are you going to agree with us today? Oh, you are? Okay, we'll let you back on." No, but it's just so we get to so everyone knows that anyone that's just jumping into the chat, open topic, open panel. I don't really have a thing to talk about, so I'm not sure how long it's going to go. I don't know where the topic's going to go, but we do know that it won't be about that topic. But and I think everything else is open. I mean, realistically, just use reality and we can keep going. DK said something in the chat. I don't remember what DK said, but it's kind of
shout out to Matt Multi-Tom-Tip, who's in the chat.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Florida time, It will be a special Brian Lique versus Big Blue Marble Science on my channel, and then open panel after.
What about that Spanish show though?
The Spanish show got canceled because it was really bad signal that day. It was raining, so I had to cancel it. I'll try to do it on the weekend again. But Brian and Blue Marble Science tomorrow.
Just so you know, Jose, when you do that Spanish stream, I'm going to stream also at the same time, and I'm going to have my own translators translate everything going on your stream online.
Hey, you know what? That day you can take advantage. You can do a. I mean, if you're available, do a show in English. Do your open panel, and at least people will have where to go because they're gonna go listen to Spanish and say like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh no,
they can have their debate in the chat, but they can go to your show.
Fuck them. I'm
no, but you cannot have Carlos. You cannot have Carlos that day. Carlos is gonna be in my show that day. You're not gonna have Carlos translating.
No. Carlos said he was coming to translate.
No, Carlos is gotta go over there to debate somebody in Spanish, like Matrix or Cynical Skeptic or something.
It's all good. I'll find my own translator then, but I will have translator. And how accurate it is, I don't know.
Now, here's a suggestion. Here's a suggestion. What you could do, Sean, is have present the show, so you can see the images, what they're sharing, and you can have one of us, either Jose or me, fill you in what the topic is, and then you guys can kind of just piggyback from that. So what you're seeing on the actual show, we'll say whatever pictures or video we're sharing, and then whatever we're sending to you, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, then you guys can piggyback from that. I don't know.
Okay, let me explain to you what will happen.
Oh, excuse me.
This is going to be this is going to be a call out to everyone in the chat and on panel. Whether you know Spanish or not, if you would like to be part of the translation team for Jose's Spanish stream, let me know, because we are going to translate everything discussed on Jose's. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. Who knows?
I love it. I'll be looking forward for it.
I don't understand Spanish, but I can translate.
Another one's going to be a bad lib reading, flat earth bad lib reading. Okay.
Too bad they can't have closed caption and translation below what they're saying.
Thank you for the idea. Yeah, because we got the icons blinking, so I can make a few voices myself and translate a bunch of my shows, Thank you for the idea.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
I am happy, thrilled, and excited.
Can we just do our own voiceover like an old martial arts video?
If you don't understand Spanish like I don't, that may be what happens. but I'm telling everyone that does not speak Spanish, you will have a translation to Jose's stream that day.
It will be terrible, but we can do it.
Oh, it's gonna be atrocious. We're gonna destroy everything they say because I don't understand Spanish.
Is just one of many
so here they're
languages that
talking
I'm not
about the
fluent in.
cerveza and the sky and the beer is falling down.
Something like that.
Oh, shout out to GPS in the chat. My Spanish is as good as Lemon's English. Oh, my bad. My Spanish is as good as Lemon's science.
How about this? Or just be like, or what we'll do is we'll just listen for like keywords that we need to know, and then like, why do they say that? It's gonna be fun.
I have no idea what they were thinking before, but they said it.
In fact, I will make, because Jose is planning to do that, I'm going to dedicate today's stream to being English speaking only.
¿Por qué?
The extent of
No.
Well, now that's unusual.
Well, I mean, if Jose can do it, why can't I?
I'm out.
Cerveza de Corona, por favor.
I don't even know what you said. I said something about
Sacre
please.
bleu.
Or
What?
cerveza de Modelo.
I asked for this, didn't I? That's my fault.
You did. You did, really, yeah.
Yeah. Or better yet, you have to speak in your native tongue. So, like, if you speak a different language on this panel,
mi corazón, Sean.
yeah, it means you too, Barney. None of that English shit for you.
Are you right, boy?
Let's see how long the conversation goes like that.
Well, if you listen very closely, you can hear that Jose is very upset That's
I have
my
a feeling.
Barney.
I have a feeling that Barney will be on the show, either in the chat or actually in the call on the Spanish show, if it's a comfortable time for him.
Oh shoot,
Because
Barney
he
is
will
here.
understand most of it. I know Barney will understand most of it, and he will be able to try to address some of the points. At least he
Wow.
will be there learning more than he knows. What do you think of Barney?
You want to be part of the team, part of the Spanish stream, or do you want to be part of the translation stream, Barney?
I think Barney should translate directly from Spanish into his native language just to fuck with everyone on the panel. Mess with everyone on the panel. So
I know Croatian.
In Alabama.
I know
Good luck
Croatian.
for you,
I'm
Brian,
good.
in the tip jar.
Nobody in Alabama will know what's going on either way, man.
And I don't understand anything Carlos says. Actually, Jose is now more understandable than Carlos. It's odd.
Does that have to do with my equipment, my hardware here? Or are you just pulling my leg?
Is my audio coming through?
Yeah,
it is now.
Mic check.
Yep, we hear you.
You got it.
Hola, Jose.
Talking to
Jose,
the
por favor, dime algo muy complicado en español.
Tú ves, Carlos, Barney entiende mucho español. Yo estuve hablando los otros días con él en una llamada privada y él habla mucho español.
Sí, pero Barney
no.
So what Carlos just said was, where is my drone? I lost it on my shelf.
Okay. So
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Barney,
wait. Hang on, Brian.
Barney acaba de correr un maratón.
Hang on, Carlos. Brian, what was just said between the three?
I wasn't listening.
Oh, geez. Great translation.
Barney, heavy breathing, dude.
I think he said he's hovercraft.
Barney suena como que lo está persiguiendo Ice.
Something about ice. Whoa, I think I know what you said.
He's making something.
Yeah, I think I know what you said.
See,
I know Spanish.
Barney sounds like Ice is following him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He got away from Ice.
No one knows what ice is except for Carlos and Jose.
You.
Only because I live 15 minutes from Mexico.
John, is Carlos lost his drone on his shelf because they're overcrowded?
Because what? We lost you.
Mic check, mic check.
Thank you, Mr. Roberto.
Crash, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
So what was said in Spanish is Carlos lost his drone because his shelves are a mess.
Wait a minute. I'm about to go take a picture of my
Wait. If that's not what you said, Carlos, then you are a shitty translator, Crash. That wasn't even funny.
It was funny to me.
Oh, in a conversation you guys probably had before.
No, he's talking about my messy workbench / studio / office / laundry room.
/ toy room.
Laundry room.
Toy room.
You're not supposed to know about his special toys, Sean. They're supposed to be hidden in the background.
Okay, let's figure out something to talk
Stand
about.
by
Guys.
for a picture.
Yeah.
No, please, I don't want a picture.
Not that.
Yeah, we don't need a picture, buddy. Hey, oh, and there's the other thing, guys. There's a new segment. That peer review thing is going to be it's going to be pretty prevalent here. I like doing it. It's fun. For instance, should Jose do a Spanish stream with all 4 people that speak Spanish only? Yeah, Jose, who's going to be on your panel if everyone that speaks Spanish is going to be on the panel talking? Who's going to listen?
They are, Damn. Let me think about that.
Mitch is going to bring in a bunch of terraplanistas. It'll be great.
Details.
Jose's over here hijacking my translator, so everyone's talking or speaking Spanish and not listening at all.
No, I know it might be a show with they're gonna be probably 1 or 2 viewers, or 3 or 4 trolls, just chatting amongst them in English. But I will still do it because I promised it. So Cynical Skeptic is up to it. Matrix Media is up to it. Hopefully Carlos, myself, and I know a few more people. It doesn't come to Hugo Perez. He's always in the chat. Also, I got questions. He speaks Spanish. I'm trying to get a hold of a few of the bigger channels in Spanish. Iro Landucci, I haven't spoken with him. Hopefully he can do it too, who knows. Antonio Banderas, if you want to show up, Antonio is welcome to.
search and like the YouTube search like Flat Earth Spanish, there's a shit ton of them. There's a shit ton of fucking Flat Earth Spanish channels. I've read them.
I just don't watch a lot of them. But I have searched it, and there's a lot of big channels with panels, open hangouts and shit.
Yeah, I've got.
How do you say "nuh-uh" in Spanish?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, I'll be listening for that. Then at least I'll know what it is.
Nuh-uh, por favor.
Silencio. I know that.
Yeah.
No entiendo.
Okay, so let's find a topic, guys, because this is not the Spanish-speaking stream. Somehow it turned into.
Because I can't speak Spanish.
That's because you're a foreigner.
No, I'm not.
Sure you are.
Well, the ether is all pervasive, and
Fuck the ether.
I'm sorry. Hang on. That's the other thing. I keep seeing in the chats and everywhere like how annoying lemon bird is to some people. You do know that is that is one of 3 lemon birds, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I got a
it's
question.
the same person. It's just
Yes.
different personalities.
No. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, there's one that would scare all of you.
I got a question about the atmosphere, right?
Yep.
We got the isosphere and we got the mesosphere and all these little prefixes with the sphere at the end, right? The layers on the top, and then we got the almost perfect vacuum. But now, how far does the where the atmosphere stops? How many miles away? Because the moon is inside Earth's atmosphere. I don't know how much or how low, but it's considered the Earth atmosphere because that's what mainstream science proposes, right? How far does this atmosphere of Earth reaches?
Okay, well, I want to touch on one thing you said in their question. One, it's not a vacuum. It's just a vacuum is used to emulate space. It is not.
It's not a perfect.
It's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect.
I say an almost perfect. Yeah. I'll go into an almost perfect vacuum. Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify it. But as far as I know in that topic, I would say that there are particles of our atmosphere that are found near the moon, but I don't know 100% about it being in our atmosphere like that. What is it, like 60 some miles before we're out of our real atmosphere? That's where we can't breathe and shit.
Oh,
right. It's all about definitions.
If the moon is roughly 243,000 miles away from Earth, that means the atmosphere reaches a little past that if the moon is still on Earth's atmosphere.
The way that I look at that, it's just where the particles are still interacting with our gravity. So basically, the particles get blown out by the solar wind, but they still return because the gravitational effect is stronger than the amount of energy it took to send them out to the moon.
Speaking of Jose and things he doesn't like, did you hear Elon Lucci debunk your giant and the space shuttle?
Don't obfuscate, Carlos. We're talking about Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, sorry.
How far we're reaching in miles.
Okay, I'll go back to that.
How far did you say, Carlos? Is it 50, 60, 70 miles away, roughly 100 miles, or 250,000 miles away, where we can escape Earth's atmosphere?
Depends how you want to do
It's a very, very, very long gradient. I don't know. It's the atmosphere. What's the definition of atmosphere? Where you can't breathe, or there's not a single particle air? It's very loose terms over here.
Well, we gotta then dissect and search what mainstream science means when they say Earth's atmosphere, when they refer to the moon being on it.
I think what they're referring to is that some particles of air and whatnot are still reaching the moon.
Yeah,
we're talking about maybe like one. But we're talking about maybe one atom of air and like a cubic, foot. I mean, that's basically a vacuum.
There's a few molecules of hydrogen, I believe, and it was data that they had actually collected years ago, but they only got around to analysing it and looking at it, I think, last year. And that's when they said, well, yeah, technically the atmosphere doesn't go out past the moon, but when they say atmosphere, it's the odd molecule of hydrogen. And of course, all the flat earthers went, see, We told you the moon was inside Earth's atmosphere.
And the other thing is the Earth's. Sorry, fellas.
No, go on.
Yeah, the other thing is the Earth loses very small fragments of its atmosphere that just float away and are gone. Whatever they hit, are they inside the atmosphere when it gets to 300,000 miles away? No.
Yeah. We lose 96,000 tons a year, I think, or a day. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Stingray.
Technically, our definition
of
space is the Kármán line, which is, I think it's 100 kilometers, which is just over 60 miles up. And that's sort of like, you know, the generally accepted, once you go past that point, you're now an astronaut. But that is in no means where the atmosphere just stops, because the atmosphere doesn't just stop.
Do you mean Carmen, like my aunt? Carmen?
What, with a K? Carmen with a K?
Oh, okay. My aunt is with a C. Sorry.
No. Not Carmen Miranda. Not sort of hats with fruits on. No, the Kármán line. But yeah, that's pretty much recognised as sort of, you know, where we say, okay, you've now passed through best part of the atmosphere and you're now technically in space. But yes, the atmosphere carries on way beyond that point.
Just depends on how you want to define it. Now, even the Kármán line is, you know, not this fixed line. We just gave it a number.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, I think because people were sort of saying, well, okay, at what point are we saying that you're in space and you're an astronaut? And I think even then, I think America has one line and the rest of the world has something else.
It's the problem with gradients.
Okay, Davros, you need to come in and explain what you shared, because I have no clue how to explain this. The existence of the geocorona. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what I'm looking at. Therefore, you sent me information that has good information, but I don't know it. So I'll share the link and you guys can check it out. I don't know enough about it.
That's what we was talking about, the cloud of hydrogen atoms.
So
this is what they revealed last year. I think the data had been collected over a decade ago, and I think they finally got round to looking at it because, you know, this stuff takes time, and they've realised that, you know, the part of our atmosphere is a cloud of hydrogen atoms, and it actually goes out way beyond the moon. But we are talking sort of the odd sort of atom, you know, every sort of few square feet or something.
Yeah, see,
that's what the flat earthers jumped all over last year when they said, look, we told you the Earth was inside the atmosphere. Yeah, it's not atmosphere as you and I know it. You know, you ain't going to be breathing it anytime soon.
Okay, so it says, where the Earth's atmosphere merges into outer space, there is a cloud of hydrogen atoms called the geocorona. A recent discovery based on observations by the ESA and NASA, solar and heliospheric observations shows that the geocorona extends well beyond the orbit of the moon, reaching up to 630,000 kilometers above Earth's surface, or 50 times the diameter of our planet.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that is technically still part of Earth's atmosphere, but, you know, it's not what you and I would call atmosphere. You certainly couldn't breathe it and survive it.
It's kind of like saying it has there's enough particles in it that are in our atmosphere, or basically, I guess the best way to say it is that's where the gradient's out.
I think this is what it's all about, Chunji, because, you know, I heard this, you know, I read the highlight of this, but I haven't researched it. So I asked the question, uneducated on the subject. I haven't researched it, but I asked him if you guys, you know a little bit, you know, we can break it down a little bit, and I appreciate the information. I wish everybody does the same. It's not that they're going to make a claim and fight for it if they don't know the information, but it's good to know things and then research it further if you are interested in it.
Yeah, Barney's pointed out in the chat very well. The atmosphere is basically particles that are gravitationally bound to Earth.
Okay, so everything in that geocorona is okay.
Just less. I said that only less eloquently.
Because you're not God. I mean, Barney.
I thought he was voice of God.
Huh?
Isn't Barney the Metatron? Isn't he the voice of God?
No, he's the mind of.
Ah.
Yeah.
I behave less trolly in Shunji streams when I'm on, because I can be an ass and a real hardcore troll, and I piss Shunji off really quick. So I'm behaving myself.
Yeah, we've seen that before, mate.
It's all good fun, Jose.
Troll and
it only really happens when I have bad days.
I know.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I agree with what Jose said. You know, it doesn't have to be a discussion of fighting whether or not this is how it works, but more of a, you know, don't be scared to ask questions if you don't know at all, rather than it always being a fight. Because to me, I don't really know much about this, but in what I've understand about particles and how they work and space, blah blah blah, it's definitely better to ask questions and then you know, someone can help fill in the holes. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when they're denying science. They don't realize that they have a lot of holes in it.
Oh yeah, but that is the whole point of science, is to ask questions. But the other point is to look at, see and recognise the answers. Don't ask questions and then if you get an answer you don't like, say no, sorry, not having that. Well, you asked the question, here's the answer.
Yeah. Hot mic.
Yes.
Hot mic in it.
Yeah. But, who was it? But yeah, asking questions is you know, it's the root of science. You're basically going, why? Why does it do that? Why does that happen?
Wouldn't it be better than to say that, you know, when we're discussing science and science type issues, to come to the conclusion that everything is about just wanting to know. Like it keeps there. Like for instance, science deniers will basically emulate that. This whole situation is about lying, all about falsifying. And in reality, it's about doing the exact opposite of those things. It's about making it so we don't have to falsify something, so we don't have to take a guess, and we can try to understand. And they've taken it, or denying it has taken it basically to is it true or not? And science isn't that. Science literally is us trying to figure shit out.
Yep. Yeah, it's curiosity. It's asking why. You see something and say, why does it look like that? Why does it do that? Why doesn't it do this? Why doesn't it do that? And I hate to say it, down the rabbit hole you go, because you're trying to find out what is what. And flat Earth and everything associated with it is exactly the opposite, it would seem.
100%. It's frustrating. Yeah. And like I said, it gets frustrating only because for me, I wanted to, I mean, I had 1,001 fucking questions. And I knew to even figure one thing out, you have to ask 1,001 questions because, first of all, here's the one thing. None of these conversations that we're ever having is one topic, is one situational basis. Like we talk about gravity. Well, we're talking about gravity, then we're also talking about a whole multitude of other things that interact with it and yada, yada, yada. And in that meaning, there can't be a yes or no conversation like it really is. It's more of everyone coming to the understanding of how things work. And again, some of us may not understand shit the same way. You may interpret it a different way.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing too, because you ask 10 people the same question, guarantee pretty much. Okay, increase the field and say 100 people ask the same 100 people the same question, particularly something on the science basis. Are you going to get the same identical 100 answers?
Absolutely not.
If you do, no, it's not going to happen. Is it?
One thing, that's the other thing. I mean, it's got to the point, and I've said this before, and it's kind of as true as it gets. I mean, a select few people that are around, this doesn't account for, like Barney, because Barney actually understands what he's talking about when it comes to these certain things. He's done these things. But realistically, it is a philosophical conversation of the layman. And if we all kind of understand that, then it becomes more of a question and answer thing rather than I'm going to win thing. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. I mean, this is as real as it gets. Me and Chris, because I just saw, what's up, Chris Berry? I just saw him in the chat. This is a realization that we can research as much as we fucking want on our own points, but realistically, neither one of us are qualified to teach it. We don't know shit. We know what we've researched. We know what we've talked about 1,000 fucking times. But the realization is when it really comes down to it, me and Chris have no authority to have this conversation as if it's going to set something in stone. Not that we can. I'm just giving an example.
No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I might say, some of these conversations, when you start going off on some of the more esoteric things, and Einstein gets mentioned, you start going into his work, I'm sorry, I'll just have to shut down because I don't understand it, and I just don't really have the time to research and get my head around it, but I stick to what I do know. I stick to the basics because my engineering side is pretty basic, it's the flow of water and air at the end of the day. And
but it still goes into what I was saying. I mean, even if so Josh, you know geology, like that's where you are. Okay, well, even if you're talking your profession, your career, it's still there's still things that branch off to have that conversation. I don't know why I called you fucking Dross again. Fucking you foreign people. I swear, you, Dross, circular reasoning, and Toady. You all sound exactly alike.
All them foreigners sound alike.
No, we don't.
Okay,
none of us sound like each other at all, except to you foreigners.
You might be catching a little bit of the Pete Shea.
I don't think you can catch that. I don't think it's contagious. I think it's just life-threatening on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I come down with a Pete Shea. Just put me out of your misery. Yeah, just put a bolt through my head.
And that's the also aspect of it. And I'm sorry, I'm going to do this, but fucking what's his name? Registered something on the debate fighter server. He did this last night.
A registered flex offender.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell him like you're not getting anywhere. You're doing circles, and he wanted to play that. I know what I'm doing. You don't, and it was kind of like what I'm seeing now is once you you try to have that scientific conversation, philosophical science conversation, and basically what ends up happening is it becomes like a what do you call it, a mental evaluation. And the realization is what's funny to me is the people that are usually evaluating these people, the deniers, usually fall under the same spectrum of issues. Like you're asking the same question 75 times, knowing you're not getting an answer. So why do you still have the conversation? If we were, put it this way, if we all lived in a community, right? And all the conversations we have right now were had, you understand that no one would ever talk to each other in that community. But yet here we talk to each other every day, over and over again, over and over again, over and over again.
Yeah.
That's odd to me.
Yeah, but we don't talk to everybody.
We talk to the same people every day. Who's new here? Who's new in the last 24 hours that you talked to that denied science that you haven't talked to or heard before? That's my favorite part. When people are like, I've never talked to that person, but I've heard them. It's like, it's the same thing. If you heard Slick's conversation 75 times, just because you've never talked to him doesn't mean it's not going to go the same way the 76th time.
That's why I don't talk to him about his beliefs.
Exactly. I don't either. I'll have a 10-minute conversation with them, and the conversation's done. Why? Because I refuse to go around in circles. But if, like I was saying, if you guys want to make this a mental evaluation, look at yourself. Anyone who says Pete Shea is completely crazy and needs to get offline, you do too, because you are probably a person that's had a conversation with Pete multiple times about the same shit over and over again. So you are just as crazy as he is, thinking you're going to come out to some different outcome every time.
My Cordis is my favorite one. Today is the day.
Yeah, exactly. He says it like he's so annoying about it, but yet he does the same thing. Cordis is there. Cordis still has these conversations. He's just picked certain people not to talk to. He's still there.
That's what Pete say. I don't talk to Pete anymore.
Well, I think he's there for the people that he, knows. He's got some friends in there like Curved and
yeah, but he'll still
Scott
interact with the deniers. It's not like he doesn't.
Occasionally he does.
I mean, I'm not saying he's like the worst at all, but he for someone who's such a proponent of don't talk to the denial of it anymore, he still does it. He's still there.
Yeah, I don't really.
We had a discussion about that. About why we're there and why we talk to certain people still after all this time.
It's like crack.
Scott was trying to figure it out.
Scott's the worst. I'm gonna tell you right now. Scott is by far. Scott is the most save a troll person on our planet, and it irritates me.
Oh, that's Kosho. Oh my god.
No,
yeah,
Kosho
is the worst.
Kosho, I love Kosho, but he's a pussy. Every sentence out of his mouth is like he's like someone standing above him with a newspaper, rolled up newspaper.
Well, that's what I mean. Sentence. You should have heard him last night. You were there a little bit, weren't you, Sean, when they were talking Hollywood?
Yep. Yeah. That's what I was talking about for.
Ryan in the chat. Don't be so mean. Don't.
Yeah, it's funny. What's it?
Then you have Druss. Druss. Oh my god, he's intolerant.
I don't mind Druss at all.
Oh, he's an apologist.
I didn't hear you said it was an apologist. I was reading the chat for the last 30 seconds. Oh, Druss?
Yeah, he's like Kosho, like.
No, he's not. Not at all. That's the funny part.
I know.
That this is crazy. So I like Druss. Druss is cool. I think that. Oh, I know why. Because I was actually thinking about this earlier. Because every time, like I've now noticed, when he goes to that server and he talks, no one wants to hear it. I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? Like everyone just all of a sudden was like, "Who is he? Let's attack." It's weird. But I think it does come down to that where, and it's a slippery slope because obviously I'm still here, still asking questions, still engaging with certain people. Like I'll engage with Chris. Chris doesn't take it to that fantasy shape of the earth thing where he can keep it and the science aspect of it. But you really got to like pick and choose conversations and realize that if it's going to be pointless or not in the first 30 seconds, really. I don't think things are pointless with Chris because you can just have a conversation and it's not just nah. That's why I like Chris. Chris actually talks. He's a little
Chris Berry?
Yeah. He's a little nutter on some of the reasons and why he does. But again, he's not like Tom.
I think,
I don't know about
but
that.
Chris,
I think he's very about a lot of things.
But he has.
He's mad because he says we body
at least a little
shamed
politer.
earlier.
Nothing's getting through.
Well, there are far more. Well, there's a lot worse than that, though. I mean, right to hand. I listened to that guy talk to earlier today, and I can tell you right now, he's arguing just for the argument.
Oh yeah, all right to hand is.
He's Poe. He all Poe.
Oh yeah, big time. But and then at the same token, I sat there and listened to people fucking yelling at like it's this weird thing. And yeah, like Discord is like the wild west. It seems like because I mean we're all grown people here. And the idea that 18 people need to shout at one person is so like, how the hell did you think that was going to work? I mean, that literally is worse than any science denier's conversation to be had. When 8 people have their own interpretation of something and want to say it at the same time. That's my favorite part.
That's how you make all these apologists over there on Gems. They feel sorry for them.
The other thing is, like Poes, I find to be truly amoral. They really are, as far as I'm concerned, hurting people.
What do you think is worse, Mark? Do you think the apologetics are worse, or just the deniers themselves?
If you believe, you can't. If they believe, you can't blame them. But if you're a Poe, then you're dealing with mentally deficient people and trying to drive them down.
A lot of times you can't tell, though.
It is hard. I only have 3 Poes in my list of I'm thoroughly convinced.
And I bet, I'm willing to bet money before you say the names that you still interact with them.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem. I'm
Dallas,
telling you right now, if everyone
chemo,
ignored chemo,
right.
if everyone ignored chemo, do you think chemo would be around?
I just chuckle at chemo at this point.
He'd come in and monologue still, though,
totally
even if
not
nobody was
down for
listening.
interacting with chemo,
Yeah.
no.
But what happens every time he does those monologues? At some point, someone bites.
Yeah, well, that's the whole program.
That was the main. Go ahead.
Chemo's whole game is he has a very defined set of questions that he can go through like a flow chart, and he just goes to the same places over and over again, hoping that someone who wasn't listening 2 weeks ago will now bite on the new thing. So, I mean that's all. It's just a game for him.
Yeah,
but even the. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's. See, it's kind of different. I got a personal issue with chemo. He's more of a how do you say? Oh well, he's a snake oil salesman to me. I won't interact with him at all. I mean, Moyak, Hannah, most of you guys, some of you guys that have been in the debate flat earth server when I was a flat earther, you guys remember how back and forth I used to go with chemo, wanting to debate and all that stuff. Yeah, I stopped completely. I just stopped. I was, wait, this is never going to go anywhere. Fuck that.
Smart choice. It's a very smart choice you did there. Yeah, because you can keep chemo just going on and on about nothing, just spinning wheels if you just respond back to him. So yeah, that's a smart choice. I kind of wish people would just totally ignore him. But the thing about the nature of Jem's server is that he is a mod there. No one's ever going to just kick him out, boot him, or anything like that. So
it's been tried.
He's actually he will be satisfied just sitting there and talking to no one. Just pontificating about nothing and nothing and nothing over and over again.
Hey, and only sheeple, I do appreciate that super chat. I saw yours yesterday. I apologize, I didn't see it yesterday. So I do appreciate both the super chats you sent. Only sheeple can't see. Thank you, I do appreciate it. Sorry about that, guys. I just definitely had to get that out.
Chris thinks I should be kicked off the panel because I'm a convicted felon who's done bad things.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He always goes low. That's the only thing I don't like about him. He always goes low.
Yeah, that is an aspect of him that irritates the fucking shit out of me. He's done that a few times. He needs to stop. Hey, what's up, Casper?
But Jim's server is different.
Thank you.
He said he needs those people because without him, there wouldn't be much to talk about. Really, it'd be just chit chat.
Oh, I like Jim. He's a good dude. He definitely, his uploads and information definitely helped me get to where I am today. But he's just as bad as the people that he promotes the bullshit. That's all it is. He knows exactly how to keep that.
Well, he wants to promote the conversation. Yeah, and it does. It runs 24/7.
The only upside to Jim's server now is 24/7. 24/7 has become so cult-like that other flat earthers don't want to be there. No one wants to be there, so it gives an outlet. Only problem with Gems is it's overran by more undenying people than deniers. So it does happen where it's and that's the other thing. That whole 5-on-1 shit. Stop crying. All you deniers, stop fucking crying. Why? Because you guys fucking go there knowing this shit. Chris, you cry about it too. All you motherfuckers that get on a panel and go, "Ooh, 5-on-1, bitch, you knew it was gonna happen." You're one denying something, and a bunch of people that don't deny it. What do you think is gonna happen? If you don't want that to happen, go do some research, learn it all first, so you can come back with evidence and actual understanding on it. That's just a realization. It's definitely weird. And in this conversation, it's always going to be back and forth about it and people's opinions. But the realization of it is you guys are literally just entertaining pigs have wings, basically.
I mean, with flat earthers, I don't think they always necessarily want to advocate that the earth is flat and that's it. They're naturally pretty, skeptic people. A lot of them are anarchists as it is. I feel like it's mainly just a thing of not like a snowflake, I want to be special kind of thing, but I don't trust the government, I don't trust anything around me. If I can't see it, it's not true. Just those sort of naturally skeptic people.
Yeah, but the problem with
They're very skeptical of the people that they talk to.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm a skeptic, but the problem is the biggest issue I've seen is all flat Earth is a label for your skepticism. And then it's been made into some bullshit. That's the problem. That's the only issue that I really have with it, and even talking about it, is that there's nothing that backs it. Nothing at all. And trust me, I was a flat earther for 3 years. I'm telling you right the fuck now, there is nothing besides that one, and I've said this 1,000 times, that one main observation you make when you walk outside your door with no tools and no long-term experiment, just your first observation when you walk outside. Fuckers, it's flat and you don't notice its motion, it's moving. Okay, that's fine. That's your gimme. But once you go past that, there's nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. So the conversation is not even really there. That's why I don't want to talk about it like that, because if there's nothing to be said. It's not about, oh, well, you don't understand. No. It's not about if I understand something or you understand this, blah, blah. No, it's all 100% upon, do you understand what the fuck you're talking about? And that goes everywhere.
Yeah, literally. Like, I don't like to generalize, but obviously with being the elected leader and, staffing Flat Earth official for a while, I come into contact with a lot of flat earthers. And they just don't really seem to accept, acknowledge, or understand basic physics. Like, the whole, if I walk outside, I can't see the horizon argument. They seem to forget that you are not comparatively quantifiable to the size of the Earth to see any noticeable curve at all.
What's funny is that they're not skeptics at all. They actually are only skeptics about what they chose not to believe.
Yeah, so
they don't. They believe all the tripe that they speak or the topics that they hit without any evidence.
I think the big thing, by and large, that flat earthers need to realize is that skepticism alone doesn't provide conclusions to anything. It just doesn't. They seem to think that it's some open door to, some groundbreaking knowledge or conclusion. No, it's just skepticism.
There's a really big, fine distinguishment between being skeptical, which is a good thing, and just denying everything because you don't understand it, which is a bad thing.
I don't believe you're male.
That's very true. To do the work, they want everybody else to do the work for them. Hey, you show me this, you find me that, you tell me this.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like we could just get Elon Musk or someone to send all the flat earthers to space and they would still come back down saying that they were drugged and that it's all a ruse and it's really flat.
Don't waste it on them. They won't appreciate it. Send us to space.
Yeah.
You still won't fit the narrative anyway, even if you do send them to space. And so they have to deny it. Of course.
Don't waste all that money on space flight on them.
Yeah. And yet they use cell phones, GPS, satellite TV, you name it.
Yep.
To me, it just seems to be flat Earth in particular. If you're not skeptical about everything else, it's like cherry picking. You're only cherry picking what you're skeptical about. And quite often it's not based on any evidence. You just cherry pick what you choose and what you're comfortable with. And a lot of the time, if you don't feel comfortable with it, then you don't pick it.
I was laughing at Ranty and Riley using Google Earth to do their little experiments yesterday on their live stream.
Oh, not again. Idiot.
Yes.
Again?
I got banned for it.
Well, they made that presentation last year. Nathan and Kiwi made the presentation of here is the flat Earth map. And it was Google Maps. It was Google Earth.
I know. Just like, I said, what are you guys doing? I congratulate him for proving that the Earth is a sphere.
Because there was no difference between sea level on one side of the ocean than the other, then it must be flat. And it's like, yeah, well done, guys. Yet again, you've just proven to the entire world how fucking stupid you are. And they keep doing it. Unironically. Crackers.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Tell them, why don't you just make your own map?
Well, we know why they don't make their own map. Because they can't. It doesn't work.
Because a spherical coordinate
Leave
system
Google Earth.
doesn't work well on a flat map.
Nope.
I mean, I could kind of get behind flat Earth. I don't believe in it, obviously, but if somebody came to me and said they were a flat earther, they're wrong, but fine. It broke me when I figured out that they don't believe in space. That's the thing that really tripped.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can't believe, if you're a flat earther, you can't believe in space. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because it just doesn't work.
Well, at least you have to deny
once you believe in space, you have got to accept gravity, and once you accept gravity, you've got to accept the world as a globe, because it just cannot work any other way.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few exceptions to that, but they have really wildly disparate reasoning abilities. One is Ali. Actually does believe that space is a thing and that moon is the moon's a solid object and so on, but he tries to with a lot of other flat earth beliefs that don't congeal with it.
Ali B is another classic example of cherry picking. You'll only accept something when it suits his narrative at that particular time, because the next time when you talk about it, he says something that completely contradicts what he's already said. He just cherry picks what he wants when it suits the argument.
I heard Ali in a hangout. I don't know if it's last year or the year before, and I don't think he realised that people hear him. He was explaining to somebody, another flat earther, how you should never argue about the moon landings and claim they're fake, because he basically said there was too much evidence to show that the moon landings actually happened, and that you'd never stand a cat in hell's chance of arguing the moon landings were fake, so just don't go there and just accept that the moon landings are real, which is what he does.
Ali B said that?
Yep.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it was, I don't know whether it was last year or the year before. Foolishly at the time, I didn't make a note of whose channel it was, whose hangout it was, who he was talking to, but I just remember hearing it and thinking, you slimy little, what's it, it's all part of the act.
Yeah. Hence, I mean, he's a pro for sure. I think he just likes the attention. He likes to cause trouble. He likes to troll. He just likes to be aggressive. It's just what he's about. And he sometimes debates. It comes across all nice, but occasionally it just shows his true colours. Like for instance, he basically called me a child molester in a chat once. He called me I don't know if anybody knows what a nonce is, but that's what it is. It's a child molester. He shows his true colours sometimes, and actually he's quite a nasty little guy.
He is. He's a lot of them are. They try and come over as halfway decent and pleasant people, but actually deep down, when you listen to them and see the comments they make, they're nasty pieces of work.
I don't know if it's in all the cases. I mean, there are a few definitely people.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying all of them, but yes, there are a few, and he's one of them.
There's a few. Yeah, Ali B, Nathan Thompson is a particularly nice.
Nathan Thompson is just loathsome.
He proves that. Yeah, he proves that week in and week out. He just does stuff that is just nasty, horrible, and below the belt and unnecessary.
Well, Ali is no Nathan Thompson. I mean, come on.
No, he's not. But he's not. But I've got no reason to like him, though, have I? Let's face it. If I get
never know which Ali shows up.
Right. I kind of think of Ali as kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character. I've had wonderful convos with him about things apart from flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just certain subjects that just trigger him into rage, and that's just how he is.
Yeah.
But you guys do notice that Ali B, and this is what makes it weird to me, because Ali B is kind of thinks like I did when I was a flat earther. Here's the thing: everything Ali agrees to is globe, but he denies it is. That is it. And he just runs around the argument. That's all he does.
Yeah.
At one point, I thought.
At one point, I was saying earlier on, Sean. He just cherry picks things, and then it suits the argument at the time. And like I said, the next conversation, he'll say something that contradicts what he's already said, but he'll completely deny it. Exactly the same thing. Just runs around the argument, goes around and around.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You guys got to remember, it's it's pretty easy to understand. It's pretty easy to know when someone you're talking to has no clue what they're talking about, or a smidget, or a lot. Where do you think you? Now, just think about this. How many times have you had a conversation knowing they have no idea what they're talking about?
Yeah, I've had a few.
At that point, the conversation is done.
Very, by the way, I'm a known liar, apparently. Thanks, Chris.
The time that I've known you, which is not all that long, to be fair, though, Farmer Boy, is I've never known you to lie. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
Actually, Farmer's Boy is a liar. He claims not to be a foreigner.
Sean, from where I'm sitting, I'm not a foreigner.
You're a foreigner.
We're all foreigners somewhere, aren't we? Let's face it. Somewhere we're a foreigner.
Oh dear. You got to laugh.
Yeah, but it's, and again, I think primarily because we, the aspect of flat Earth or not is the reason why we talk about it that way. But just understand that everything we're talking about is realistically just denying science.
Yeah.
Not understanding science. And it's I know it's impossible to understand it because I've been around for almost 4 years now. Fuck. And I don't know enough. I'm not an expert, so I can't sit here and act like I know it all now. So there has to be a listen, a take it in, research it, understand it, then have the conversation. And that's, I think, one of the fatal flaws that we all have here. None of us are, like I said, none of us are qualified for this. Some of us are a little bit more qualified than others, but we all come at it like, I know what I'm talking about. So when I say it, you're going to hear it and you're going to take it all in. And that goes both sides. The realization of it is that if you really understood it completely, you wouldn't be here. I'm going to tell you that right now.
It's not true. I think Blue and George and Rumpus, some of the people you don't like that very much to talk, they do understand it. They spent their life
I'm sorry.
working in fields.
I didn't mean like that. I meant more to they have questions still. There are things they still don't know.
Earth is a sphere, though.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, Hannah, I know that. That's why
we don't understand everything about the universe.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm not entertaining that shape. That shape. That's really what it is too. Because when when you decide like I did that's not worth entertaining, then it really brings the conversation home. Do you know science? Do you not? Now, I didn't mean like they don't know what they're talking about. I meant more along the lines of they don't know it all. No one knows everything is what I meant by it. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to those guys at all. I meant more under the lines of they don't know it all. So then that way there's always going to be something they need to learn or they need to research. But it does bring to the spectrum of people that don't know shit about it. I don't know shit about it. So I would never, and this has happened actually. Well, Barney, Blue, George, Dr. Bob have said something and I didn't agree. And I asked the question. I don't know. So how the fuck am I going to go, you're wrong? All I can do, the best thing you can do is ask 101 questions about it that make sense and try to understand it and see why it's that way. That's the only way you're going to find out how to debunk it anyway. It's impossible. It's impossible to debunk gravity if you don't know shit about gravity. It's just the reality.
I mean, that just comes into play. It comes into play is just being careful what you actually say, because you can't state something if you really don't know what you're talking about. And exactly what you said, Sean, I agree with that. You can't just suddenly turn around and say you're wrong, and then you get the question, well, why? Well, I don't know. That's just not an argument, and you can just miss that automatically.
Yeah.
But entering a conversation and having a conversation about something sometimes can be subjective. I mean, your discussions usually are quite subjective. So anybody really can can talk about that to an extent.
It's one of those weird things, and here's the reason. And one of the other big aspects of it is I'm the type of person that likes a conversation, a discussion. I like the back and forth. Devil's advocate isn't wrong to me. The problem is it's got to go somewhere. Conversation needs to have a start, a middle, an end. And it's like we've all perfected not having any of those involved. Like we can start a conversation that happened before. There's no middle because it jumps around, and there's definitely no end because we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, flat Earth is a bit like an endless conversation, isn't it?
And it goes. And here's the best part about it. It takes the person who doesn't know anything to understand they don't, and to shut the fuck up and try to understand it. But there's also the aspect of maybe you understand it and they don't, and you're talking to them as if they're supposed to. That's the biggest thing. Fuck all the people that think they know, and they come at people like that doesn't real. Nuh-uh. Okay, well, here's the other part about it. Stop talking to them like they're supposed to know.
I consider myself average, and when I find somebody who doesn't know, it's like, God, how isolated and insulated have you been in your life?
But that's a problem. But this way, someone was, I think it was yesterday, you guys were talking, it was over at Jose's. Something was being said, but came to the thing of like, oh, well, we learned that in high school and this and that. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't remember shit from high school, really. Everything I know now and we talk about, I've learned in the past 3-4 years. If you want to learn and you want to understand, it's not difficult. It's not hard. It has nothing to do with your education system. It's literally people that I can guarantee there's people that haven't graduated high school here that are talking with more understanding than most. This is how it works. We got to want to know. You have to want to understand something to have the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm insulated also because I live and I work with engineers. That's what I do day in, day out. And I don't see the rabble of which I'm one.
The thing I hate most is when you get some people come to a debate, and I've seen it on the Globe side a little bit as well, to be fair. But I'll give an example, okay? Hip Hop Hippie had a debate with Dead Kennedy Space recently. I'm sure some of you actually seen it. And I counted, and I think I counted in that whole debate, and I think it went on for about an hour and a half, give or take. And I heard him say, I don't know 6 times. Now, in itself, there's no harm in saying you don't know something. That's absolutely fine. But don't come claiming that you've debunked the globe Earth when you've come to a debate to say you don't know to a lot of things. That's the thing that really gets my goat. And then they go away and they start claiming victory. You just can't do that. If you're going to come into a discussion, stick to the topics that you know, talk about those, agree on the topic and discuss it. But don't just keep going all the way through. If you're going to say that somebody's wrong, and tell them they're wrong and tell them why they're wrong. Don't just say, well, why am I wrong? I don't know. And that's what I heard from Hip Hop Hippie, and that does happen a lot, particularly with flat earthers, and sometimes I'm afraid with balloons, occasionally.
Don't you find interesting that, at least me personally, when I was in high school or whatever in school, I couldn't wait to get out from school to go home, either watch movies or hang out with friends and smoke and play video games and all that shit. And I spent so many hours in this course listening and learning about fucking science, bro. It's education about math, equations, science, and advanced stuff. It's mind-boggling. Like, this is like going to school and college for free. What the hell is wrong with us, man?
Yeah, I agree, actually. That's good point.
But that's the thing. That's what confuses me. It would make more sense if you denied science. It'd make more sense that you just sat back and listened and tried to understand what you think is not correct. Whereas when people are just blindly going, I don't know, it's flat. It's not this. Yeah. Science lies. Okay, well, what lie? That's what the big part about it was. I don't care to talk about flat Earth because it's nothing. The realization of it is you can come at any point, but it's still not going to be about flat Earth because all you're still doing is denying science. You need science, whether you want to or not, whether you deny it or not, because reality is that science is exactly what you're trying to do, but without the evidence.
One of these things I've also found, like one of the things I find intriguing about it is people, in attempting to explain things to the flat earthers, explain it in so many different ways that it helps me understand concepts that I had no concept of.
Exactly. That's exactly how I'm at the point where I'm in now, where people come in and they want to do the nuh-uhs. I asked 1,001 questions. More like you've heard me. When I was a flat, I asked so many fucking questions. It got annoying. The difference is I wasn't trying to debunk anything. I wasn't trying to say no, you're wrong. I was trying to figure it out so I could understand it. Why? So I then could try to debunk it. That's literally what I was doing. I was literally trying to understand what was being said so I could debunk it. That's the only way to do it.
We are like tutors,
to understand the model that was proposed, and then you were going to go and show how it was wrong.
We are like tutors, because if we weren't in the science class with this desire to learn, when the teacher was and we asking all these questions and we learned it well, when somebody asked the dumb question or questions and answers, and we'll be helping the people like this, she already told you, let me explain it to you in a different way. So we, from students, from looking at this for the first time and not knowing a bunch of details, to learning it and explaining it to another, so we become the teachers. From students to teachers in a year, in a month, man. It's crazy, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I remember when I first, Coriolis had been one that kind of vexed me. I just couldn't, get it through my head. And there's just that one day when it's like, oh, I get it now.
Hi, Moyak, I've got a confession for you. I still don't get Coriolis. That's why I don't talk about it.
Well, we get to talk about that at some point. I'm non-scientific understanding now. It's just now I have it intuitively.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's how we learn. Listen to other people. I don't listen enough to people talking about Coriolis. So
yeah. I basically I have a physical model in my head now that I think of, and that explains it to me.
Yeah, it's that eureka moment, isn't it? With things.
They can't deny science to prove the science of the Earth. Doesn't make sense.
At all. It doesn't. It makes zero sense. How did you come to a conclusion? That's not an answer.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not.
Because that's La La Land.
Hey Sean, how long were you a flat earther for, and what kind of started you off as a flat?
I was for almost 3 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, what got you sort of into flat Earth? What kind of made you decide? Yeah, hang on, I think the Earth is flat.
Not understanding.
Yeah, Shane, you didn't become part of a cult, right? You were not a member of any cult. Were you in the Bro Sanchez cult or not?
No. I would have been, if you want to say that like that. I was with you. Been exposed, Dreads. It's my boy's family. Okay. I have, matter of fact, with Bro Sanchez. This is why I have such a thing with Bro Sanchez, because and a lot of people knew this, but I didn't get along with flat earthers. Like I said, as a flat earther, I had more debates with them than I did with Globers. Because I had different views, I had different thoughts, but that was also because I realized I didn't understand, and I was trying to. So as I would, my understanding of something would progress, it wouldn't work with flat Earth. So then I had to figure out why. So I would have the conversation with flat Earth. And what I realized right away is there wasn't answers.
That made you special because you were kind of in that group, but you were more of your own person,
Exactly. And that's why Dreads, you've been exposed, that question everything. That's why we're such a good friends, because as a globe, before I came into it and I knew him, he was cool. Everyone was respectful. I came from the time when flat Earth, everyone was respectful. It wasn't about talking shit and being personal. It was only one side was doing it, and I was able to do it on Dreads. When I started branching out and going to other streams and other platforms, that's when I started having issues with flat earthers, because they didn't like how I thought. When it comes to Bro Sanchez, I realized right away he's a fake. He's a fucking. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and I have everything to back it. And I don't care. Please go tell him I said it, because it's the truth. Bro Sanchez is a fucking scam artist. Bro Sanchez has fucking porn bombed himself twice for the purposes of views. I'm telling you that right now.
Now, this is a special case. I cannot talk a lot. Just I gotta say this. I think I was a member of the Nathan Oakley cult. I was a member of those. But the beautiful thing is, I never parroted them. I was never a minion of them. I was just a cult member. So I was kind of my own guy being a part of that club, if you know what I mean. So I was able to get out.
Were you, Sean G and Jose, were you flat earthers around about the same time?
I think I was flat earther long.
Yeah, I think so, but I never came across Sean G when he was a flat earther. We never associated at all. I met him after he
situation.
got out of the flat earth. Yeah, I kind of met him in the Jim Panda show we talked for a little bit, and then a few weeks after I came out, as a Glober too. So it was very close, our both.
So Sean G, there wasn't like a defining moment that kind of like made you become a flat earther. Then there wasn't or was it more like a gradual?
Yeah, there was. Unfortunately, it wasn't science based. It was more who's an asshole and who's not. Like I said, when I started, what was happening was Globers were attacking. That's it. Flat Earth wasn't attacking. They weren't shit talking. They weren't being personal. Nothing. And I realized, why are you guys such assholes to flat earthers? Well, I don't want to be part of that group. So I put myself more into the flat earth side when I didn't believe it yet. But then once I realized there was so much that I didn't understand and there was so much to question, it seemed fit. Now that when I look back to it, it literally was, you can implant anything into someone's brain if they don't understand what the fuck's going on. And if the
Corrupted,
person,
Sean.
100%. It made me question things I didn't know, not realizing that because I didn't know them, I can't question them.
Why do you think Globers were being quite aggressive? And it does still happen now, obviously. So why do you think that's the case? Do you think it's fear, or what do you think?
They're not understanding. If you think it's a globe and there's nothing that will change your mind. Flat Earth is a ridiculous joke to you. You're literally just talking to a bunch of people that you think are full of shit. Realization is it's not so cut and dry. Flat Earth isn't here for no fucking reason. It's literally because people don't understand. There are things that need to be questioned and there's shady shit going on. The problem is there's nothing that solidifies that there is any reasoning for talk of Flat Earth. Everything else around it, yes. Everything. Government, science, NASA. I mean, they all have their faults. They all lie. They all do shady shit. The problem is it has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
I'm going to challenge you on that.
Okay.
When have you ever found NASA to lie? I mean, I just have not seen this. I won't say it doesn't happen, but I haven't seen it.
When I say that, let me make it a little bit more clear. NASA sells space. They do. I don't care what anyone fucking says. NASA sells the shit out of space. The reason they sell space is because kids that are learning about space, they want them to be interested. They want people to go, what the fuck is that? How does that? How do you do that? How do you know this? They want that. And the more people that do that, the more likely they are to become NASA employees.
Yeah.
That's just, that does not mean they are lying. No, that does not mean they are shield. That doesn't mean they're deceiving. They're trying to hide the shit. No, they're literally selling it for the future. The problem I have with that is that here's the problem is that I have with that is that when I go online and I go, NASA, show me space. You're not seeing space. You're seeing the depiction they want you to see. That is an issue to me. Here's the other problem. There's so much that went into getting those images. There was so much that went into us being in space, the ISS, probes, you name it. That's not talked about, that I think people think act as if NASA's going, well, one day we decided we were going to space, then 3 days later we went to the moon. It didn't work that way. People died. People fucking lost. People fucking went crazy. Like, a lot of shit happened to get to where we are today, and just denying it just because is a slap in the face.
Well, I don't see
Sean,
that,
I think it was actually a bit simpler than that, to be honest with you. And you're probably surprised to hear that from me, but it's more simple. That it boils down to money. You see, because what it is, NASA has to sell space. You're absolutely right, totally right. Couldn't agree more. But the reason why they need to do that is because the more people they get interested in it, the more chances that those people are going to vote for a president or whatever is going to fund NASA. That's what it boils down to. It's as simple as that. I know it sounds strange when you say that, but it boils down to money and votes. That's what it's boiled down to. It's not so much that they want all those people to become NASA employees. That's what it boils down to. Because obviously, if they're going to get a president that's going to come in that is going to give more funding for NASA, that's what they want.
What do you mean by the? What do you mean by the like they tone down the deaths and stuff? I don't see that either.
Okay, so can we? Okay, so like this is a perfect example because this is okay. So everyone knows I am a moon landing denier, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. It's not that I don't think they did it. It's that I understand it. The trajectories, the how they did this and all the time they did, I don't get it. So that's the only reason why. It's not that I don't think it's possible. I also realize that a lot of us didn't come from the era where an Apollo was going on, so we don't know exactly what it took, the time and all that stuff. We just see it as it happened, right? Now, when you ask me that question, it goes like this: there aren't very many YouTube videos. There's not very many links and sites and explanations of all the testing that went on. They don't tell you about all the deaths. It's not mainstream, that part of it. You can find it, 100%. But for someone who's just looking up NASA, there's not very much about the deaths, the money that went into it, the budgeting. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot that went into it that isn't mainstream to everyone like that, unless you're looking for it.
No, I disagree, Sean.
That's not true. Oh, look, put this way. I did an interview with a guy named Dudley. He's one of Soundly's friends, and he grew up in the Apollo time, and he's like a Apollo aficionado, basically, or fanboy, whatever. But he said it very clearly. He said what it took to get Saturn V and Apollo missions going. The budgeting, the cuts, the contracts, the testing, everything that happened before that, it was hard for him to find. It wasn't something that you can just go into Google and go, Apollo deaths, blah, 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 and it's going to show you everything. He said he had to dig. He had to find those things. And that's kind of what it is. It's really hard to find everything you want to prove your point. It's really easy to find out how it's not right, but it's not that way.
The programs before Apollo Sorry, Casual.
No, go on ahead, Crash. All right, go ahead.
But the programs that led up to Apollo were under different names. You had the Gemini program that lost a lot of people and had lots of explosions and failures. There were other different programs Mercury. That's all stuff that led up to the development of the Apollo rocket.
Yeah, what you got to remember as well, Sean, is that there were very different times. I mean, now you got social media, where you can find a lot of stuff that's happened over sort of the last 10, 20, 30 years or whatever. But you do have to dig around, but you can find it, Sean. You know what I mean? I was born a little bit too late. I was actually born in 1970. So by the time I knew anything about Apollo, I was like 6 or 7 years of age. And I'd been very much interested in it, and by that time it was all over. It was long gone. That was ancient history, really. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but you know what I mean? So, but if you can find it. It's definitely there. Fair enough. You've got to dig around for it. But it's, it was very, very different times in those days.
Yeah. Let me clarify on it, because I didn't mean that it's not around, and I'm sorry if it came across that way. I just mean that it's not mainstream. It's not something that everyone can find and go and get and know where to look for it right off the bat. I didn't mean it so much that.
Let me ask this.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
How many of the Tesla fires, Ford, it's not something you advertise. You don't ever advertise your failures. And it's not because of any reason other than that's not the face you're trying to put on something. When was the last time you talk about a failure you had at work?
Has anybody here
were actually worked in the media at the time, though?
Has anybody here actually worked as a technician at a dealership for a new automobile?
I did. I was a mechanic.
So you know about TSBs, because the general public never sees those books, ever. Those are every known issue and error with a car and failure point, so that technicians at dealers can do the warranty work, but the public never hears about them. And they're stupid, crazy.
And you can find those, but it's not mainstream. Like you said, you can find it. Right. You'd have to do a shit ton of digging, but it's there. But it's not something you're going to just Google and find out. And that's what I meant by the travesties.
Yeah,
the things that happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Sean, but it won't be. It won't be mainstream in that way, that you would find information that's happened for like stuff that's happened over the last 10, 20, 30 years.
Well, see, that's the thing.
For that very reason,
I realize this too. Anyone who does deny the moon landings, space, instead of all the denying, right now, we're in understand this. We're in a time right now, for all of us who weren't around for Apollo and all that shit, motherfuckers, we have our own shit going on right now you can look into to figure it out for yourself. It's not about questions and all that shit. Literally, just stop denying and just look into it. See what happens. They're talking about moon landings and shit now. So now's your chance to find out if it's real or not. Now's your chance to figure out if they're full of shit or not. Just pay attention. Stop denying.
Well, here, Sean, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit, and this is not a nasty challenge. I'm not trying to be pushy here or anything like that, but you said that don't deny, just go and learn stuff. And you said that the reason why that you kind of like a moon denier in a lot of ways, not completely, but it's because you don't understand it. Well, dude, go and learn about it. I can teach you the basics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So simply understand it, and I tell you one thing. Perhaps why don't we arrange something like a little live meeting between, say, myself, Blue Marble Science, and maybe Big Kennedy in Space, because they'll know stuff that I don't know. I don't know at all.
I didn't mean don't deny it. I didn't mean don't deny it. I think I kind of it came out that way. Denying is awesome. I deny a lot. I deny a shit ton. The problem is when you deny something, there should be questions, not answers, from the person denying it.
Yeah, true.
And just to say, Charlie, man, I understand there are books at libraries, Gemini, Apollo, and all those other things. But what I'm saying is the layman, the average person that's not in this community that knows where to go look for these things. The average person doesn't know where to go look for the amount of people that died in Apollo and Gemini missions and all that. Those things they're not mainstream. Yes, libraries are mainstream, but information in those libraries doesn't always mean it's mainstream.
Sean, I've got a question.
The Mercury astronauts who died, that was news. It wasn't just like something that was swept under the rug. Nothing happened like Russia.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying it's not out there, but it is not. I'm sorry. Every time they did a test flight for Gemini and all that shit, they weren't telling everyone every time something bad would happen.
I've got a question for you.
And I'm not saying that makes it a lie. I'm literally just saying the transparency of NASA and all these things need to be more, is what I'm saying.
It's all over YouTube, though, dude.
You've not actually said what conclusion you're drawing from it, Sean. Not mainstream.
Well, you also have to understand
what do you mean from
the reason why a lot of that wasn't broadcast was because... Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you literally just ran over with what Stingray was saying. It may not be you, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear anybody talking. My bad.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm having some terrible Discord issues today. I can't hear very well.
Yeah, a lot of people are having that issue. I think you were saying something yesterday. Stingray, you want to start over? I apologize.
What we're saying is it's brilliant saying it's not mainstream and saying it with purpose and intent, but what is your intent and your conclusion from that? Because I know of many things that are not mainstream that probably should be. There is intent behind them, but it's not to say that they're not real. I've never come across... I've never come across... I mean, it's brilliant. I think Crash and someone gave you examples there of things that aren't mainstream through intent because... they are not positive things, coupled with someone else mentioned that media back then, if you wanted to get documentation of an experiment, there maybe was freedom of information and data request channels that you could go through. But it's not like today when, digital media allows you to be up to the second on all developments with extreme scrutiny. It wasn't like that. Plus, it was easier to hide. Yes, I know of 3 Teslas that have gone boom because of the lithium-ion cells collapsing. I can pretty much guarantee you there's a hell of a lot more than 3. But because of today's media, I got to see 3 of them. because of today's technology.
Okay. Again, I'm sorry. When I said transparency, I meant NASA then, not now. I agree. Trust me, I am on board with everything you guys are saying. When I say the transparency, the people, the mainstream aspect of it, it's literally because then it wasn't possible like it is today. I get that. That's why I say now is the time when everyone who wasn't around during those missions and all that stuff should be doing more listening and research and understanding of what's happening now, because we're in our own space race right now. We're in the new age space race. I wasn't around for it. I am now in it. We are now experiencing a space race, and we're lucky to be a part of it. Watch, understand it.
I would agree. Oh, sorry, Sean, I'm going to talk over you. I agree, it's a space race, but it's very, very different to what it was in the 60s and 70s.
Well, yeah, because there was war aspects and nuclear and all that, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's just not the same situation, but it's the same thing, in my opinion.
Now you say you don't understand the orbital mechanics and stuff like that. What is the major holdup in that understanding?
What are some of the okay. So I 100% understand the slingshot and getting there. I understand the slowing down to get into Moon's orbit. I understand the speed to continue to stay in the Moon's orbit. What I don't understand is how then they were able to get back in the same time it took to get there, because they didn't have they never had a 24,000 mile an hour start. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, because what you got to understand is as well, don't forget when they actually started to come off Saturn's atmosphere, there is no atmosphere on the moon.
Well, that's what I mean. Okay, so if it took 3 days to get there, and we're using the aspect of they launched from Earth, they were able to get to that the leaving the atmosphere speed. Fuck, why is the name? I know it. Trust me. I don't remember the name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Escape velocity.
Escape velocity.
Thank you. You don't know what you. Yeah.
But okay, so
I don't understand what you're actually saying.
Hang on. Let me explain it. So the escape velocity, and using the Earth's gravity to slingshot, I understand all of that. But because the moon doesn't have the atmosphere, because the moon doesn't have the gravitational pull, because the moon, the orbiting speed is so much slower than around the orbiting speed of Earth, I don't get how they were able to make the same trip back in the same time. How they did it, I get.
That's because.
Or I mean,
how you did it, you don't get.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, it's just simple as fact that the moon doesn't have as much gravitational pull as the Earth. That's pretty much as simple as that. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it.
And you're coming back with a shitload less equipment.
Exactly.
Shitload less equipment, shitload more tonnage in terms of your rocket. Yeah, and therefore you need a lot less power in your engines to actually do it. That's as simple as that. I know this is going to sound funny, and I've actually said
power to weight ratio.
But this is exactly why I said now we're in a time when this shit is when we should all be looking at it instead of just denying. Because again, like I said, I don't understand, but we're in a situation where I don't have to try to completely understand what happened 50 years ago. They're gonna fucking do this shit now. Just pay attention. That's all I gotta do.
Sure.
Oh, don't think I haven't forgot about you, Davros. I'm happy you're here.
Yeah. Just to jump in. Okay, a couple of things. Conservation of momentum, orbital mechanics, gravitational acceleration.
Okay, I know that you said those words, and now we're all supposed to understand it. Davros.
No, I've given you the wiki. Now you go and research.
Davros, I pretty much just summarised what you just said.
Yeah, I know. But it's as I heard Sean say, it's that people, because I've been listening, that a lot of people only just look at the one thing, and that's what the conversations we have is. But like he said, with gravity, it brings up why things fall, why things rotate, why things do this, why things do that. So as you said, it was basically gravity, but there was the three things that would help a person who doesn't know understand it.
Yeah, but the thing is, what you really got to be careful as well, though, Ross, is the language that you actually use. Because if you confuse people with science, all the technicalities of it, you've lost them.
Oh, so you want me to use thrusty bits and flingy bits?
Sorry, so that again, you roboted out, sorry.
You want me to use
I'll put it this way: if I can understand it, anyone can understand.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, thrusty bits, flingy bits, fally downy bits.
Go faster.
Yes, we shall faster.
That's my connection, sorry.
So whatever we were talking about, you just have to repeat it all over again, just so I get the grasp.
Very slowly for Terry.
I like that.
The other thing is that they didn't have the big braking maneuver that they had when they went to the moon. They used the Earth's atmosphere, so they were able to come in hot.
Wait, what?
Say it again? They used the resistance.
They come in fast, but they came in at like a steep angle, so they can actually use more of the Earth's atmosphere to slow down. Because if you remember the Apollo capsules, it's slightly concave, but it's more or less flat. So you've got the drag, so they use a lot more of the atmosphere to slow down. So yeah, they came in really fast, very fast.
They came in like a bat out of hell.
Oh yeah.
I just posted a credible link from Spoon University in the side chat.
Crash Spoon.
Fuck your pineapple.
Hey, I had pineapple pizza yesterday.
Hannah, we talked about this.
That stuff's illegal.
Sean, you're going to get peer reviewed.
I can't hear you.
Pineapple pizza's wrong. I'll debate anybody that all day long. It's wrong.
I posted a link to a credible University of Higher Learning that says pineapple belongs on pizza.
How do I delete this picture?
Yeah, I refuse to take any sources from Spoon University.
Hang on, Sean. Let's peer review this.
I'm with you.
Okay, wait. If we're gonna peer review it, then we gotta wait a second. And unfortunately, you guys won't get to see it, but YouTube will. So give me a second.
Oh, you're talking about a culinary school, so it's not reputable university.
Sean, I can send you a picture of pineapple on pizza.
Ew.
That's gross.
No.
That's
You always end
CGI.
up on pineapple on pizza.
How is the? Wait a minute. I want to know how a culinary school is not an higher state of learning in the development of food.
Have you seen Community College? Mathematical equation for the circular figure in a square box in a triangle.
It's pie.
And 314 mirrored is pi.
You guys can hear that, huh?
You mean that one, Terry?
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
The hell is that, Crash?
Good. It looks like General Tso's chicken.
General Tso's chicken on steamed rice with barbecue chicken and teriyaki chicken on a stick.
I'm hungry.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, what does that have to do with the current conversation?
Oh, Juan said he was hungry, so I was trying to help him out.
Well, until you can email him that chicken wing, it's not going to help.
We've gone from
Chicken pie is good for breakfast.
Food.
Yeah. Orbital mechanics of how ships get from the moon to Earth to pizza.
Pie. And then to food.
Yeah, why not? a natural thing to happen. Moon landings, pizza.
I'll just have to go and make some Vegemite on toast then.
Vegemite stinks.
Yeah, so do you.
I'm doing stuffed chicken breast.
Well, did you ask permission?
What are you doing to them?
Yeah, Ross, that's not very nice.
Ham and spinach.
But you can't tell me.
I've been very nice to you.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
I've been very nice to you. I'm very nice to you in these last few days. You have to be nice back, once in a while.
That's okay, but the statement that you smell, you cannot refute it.
So I'm still waiting for all of us U.S. people to get together and have a massive cookout while all of our overseas friends just watch.
Yeah, I smell very nice. But you said I stink.
That'll be fun.
Do you know that stink and smell are the same thing?
That's subjective, not really.
Oh,
Bring the pumpkin pie.
You're being objective to my subjectiveness.
Thai fish sauce
Yeah,
smells great.
Nicole says, can she make that a cherry pie instead of pumpkin pie?
Bring both. Maybe
Yeah,
3.
so you
Apple,
have the
cherry, and pumpkin.
Yeah, so you have the pumpkin pie for main, and you have the other 2 for the choices of dessert.
Digital, you're just going to see it through your telephone screen from over there where you're upside down.
And we're not upside down. You're upside down.
Yeah, my reference frame trumps yours.
You call December summer. That's upside down and backwards.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
I'll cook up some white chicken chili, secret recipe kind of stuff, and spread it all around.
Yeah, you guys think you live near the North Pole too?
I do.
Do you?
Sean, I got some ghost peppers to throw in that chili.
Oh, that'll be good.
Oh,
It actually adds a good flavor to it if you do it right. You don't have to add a lot.
Flavor.
You don't have to add a lot. I mean, if you're making a lot of chili, then like 1 pepper for basically to feed an army is good.
Yeah, 1 pepper does a pot, and to the point of pain.
When we do it for the chili cook-off here, you put 5 peppers in 10 gallons, and that will win the 5-alarm clock.
Yeah, that's kick-ass. I ate 1 just straight up. And that was too much for me. I fancy myself a hot guy. I do jalapenos, habanero, and ghost peppers. That was another class.
I like ghost peppers, but Carolina Reapers are the worst. They're hot, but they have no good flavor to them.
If you want
it's almost like a rancid flavor.
If you're ever confused as to the path of your entire digestive tract, eat one of them.
No.
You'll feel every inch of it.
No.
But Carolina Reapers taste rancid, but at least the ghost pepper, if you eat it straight, it's hot, but it has a little bit of flavor to it.
I dehydrate them and I make a powder. And you can, since the ghost peppers don't have a whole lot of flavor, you can put like a dusting in your soup and stuff. And it's awesome. I put it on everything.
Oh.
No.
I'll be bringing my own chili.
No.
Sriracha fries.
Oh, that sounds so good. So we need to plan a place for this great American cook-off cookout thing.
I know.
Well,
Who's in the
you
middle?
have to let me know. You have to let me know in advance so I can get some petrol. And...
I think
the Brits bring some blood pudding.
I think me and Nicole are mostly in the middle. We're in Illinois, which is mostly the middle of the U.S.
Place where the humidity isn't 100% in the middle of summer.
Perfect time for barbecue.
No, it's not. It doesn't get really that humid unless we're getting a storm coming in. But during the summer, it's nice here. It'd be about 80, 85 with low humidity.
That sucks for you guys. That sucks for you guys because here in San Diego, we have perfect weather year round.
Then we'll go to your house.
Sean's on
go to the foreigner's house.
I never said anything about going to my house. Come to San Diego.
Yeah.
We're coming. I'm gonna dox you.
It'd be a perfect place.
As
The
if I
ocean's
could.
right there, and
Hannah,
if you
my
guys want
grill
to have
is
a
made
meet
out
out
of
here,
four
bring it. Let's do this.
55-gallon drums. Do you know how much it would cost me to get my grill to Sean's house?
I got a grill. Come on down
we'll
to my
rent
house.
one
I'm
for
right
the
on-
weekend.
Sean, do
We'll
you
go to
own
my
a welder?
No, but I can get to a welder within minutes.
Cool, we can build one.
Damn right.
Awesome.
Ooh. Do you know how much it costs for steel?
Just get a
Yeah,
box
fuck
trailer.
all, mate.
Get a box trailer and throw a fence over it.
Yeah, don't buy that American crap. Use that
Just
Chinese.
dig a
goodness.
pit, put a grill on top of it.
Sean's got big, heavy equipment. We can just steal a tire rim and then put a fence over it to cook everything up.
There you go.
You're not taking apart any equipment on my watch.
Or you could just use the bucket on a loader and put the grill on top of that. Fill it with
There you
coals. Beautiful.
I've done that.
Someone with lots of acreage, so we can have tents and stuff and camp out. And
Man, that's a good way to get your hoses to blow.
Yes, it is.
I constantly, when I have a big bonfire and I'm trying to get it to go and I'm pushing that bucket in there, those hoses start smoking. It's like, I better get out of this.
No one's mentioned the most important ingredient for this barbecue.
Yeah, where's the meat?
No, the beer.
Yeah, of course we'll have a couple kegs.
Foster's.
Couple
That's the
kegs.
easy part.
Shit, there's a Bud Light distribution place right down the road. I'll call up and have them.
I will be bringing a gun and shooting anyone that drinks Foster's or Bud Light.
Hey, we got Bush right
Light?
here.
Ew.
Got Bush Gardens. And
Well, you may as well just bring some. You may as well just bring some bottled water if you're going to drink Bud Light.
I gotta wonder.
Now I have to bring my own beer too.
Hang on, because you guys are not touching on the most important part. Is the state in which this barbecue is going to be had, is marijuana legal or not?
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm out.
Well, the question is, that's why it should be at Sean's house.
They just passed recreational use here on the 1st, and my buddy shop sold, or statewide, they sold $3.2 million of marijuana in 24 hours.
Fuck yeah.
Here you go, Sean.
So you can go to Illinois.
Or they can come to San
That's
Diego.
Illinois.
I
Yeah,
like the
go to
fact that
San Diego in a heartbeat.
You just
everyone
can't
come here.
bring it. You can't bring it with you. You got to buy it here because of tax stampage shit, kind of like cigarettes.
I mean, federal law.
Have some property, Sean.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I have property to do that. Yeah. Fuck yeah. We'll do like a flat Earth convention. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Over convention.
Isn't it called state land? We could all go out to state land and go camping and stuff like that.
Yeah, that too.
How much land do you have?
But I want to get
Is there
arrested.
an appropriate berm on the back of the property for large caliber toys?
Oh no, we gotta go down to the mountains for that.
Oh, you can shoot it. You can shoot at my property.
Like how big of a caliber can we safely shoot there?
Oh, caliber 50 cal.
Oh, awesome.
Have to shoot
50
guns.
cal, but you
Can't we
only
just
get a
have
bit of-
fun?
But 100.
Yeah, we'll just get
Well,
someone. We'll just get someone.
Yeah,
we'll just
but-
pick someone. We'll just pick someone's car and just park it out random down the back of the paddock, and then we'll just all take pot shots at it.
Oh, here, hold on. I got a picture for you.
You know, like a festival type of atmosphere, not guns.
So if anyone pulls up in a Prius,
Carolina Reapers. Well, like California, you'll take your pick. Every third car.
I can't bring my rifle or my pistols over to California.
Too big a magazine, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Knew it.
Well, I can bring it without the magazine.
Sure, you can live without your guns for a few days.
You do know I have guns. I mean,
Yeah, well,
I know you have
I can
guns.
bring them. I can bring them all except one, really.
I can go
We
to
all
any other
have
state
guns.
and legally own a firearm. I just can't own one in Illinois.
What else are we going to do? So we've got barbecue.
I'll bring the side by
Wheelers?
side in the mud truck, but Sean can't play with the side by side.
Excuse me?
Bring some RC trucks.
I'll bring the side by side in the mud truck, but you can't play with the side by side because I haven't paid it off yet.
You do know that I used to own one, right? I don't break shit. I'm not a breaker.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Anything that goes off road, you're not having fun unless you break it. But I haven't paid for the side by side yet.
You do know I know my whole life I've off road. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want in my mud truck, and I don't really give a damn. But the side by side is mostly misses crashes, and if we tear it up, we're in.
I don't tear shit up. We do different types of off roading.
Okay.
Okay, but what Mrs. Crash says goes.
Well,
Here's
no,
what
because
happens
you
when you
like
come on my
pineapple on
property.
pizza.
And
Here's what
that's why
happens when
I
you
will
come
be
on my
bringing
property
bacon
and
wrapped pineapple lumps to the cookout.
I remember that, Moyak.
no trespassing means no trespassing, motherfucker.
I remember when you showed that a long ass time ago.
Yeah. And that's a couple of my toys.
Oh, that's such a beautiful.
Said that. Was that
Who
God?
said that? Who was that masked man?
Do you still have
it's
that
the other
van?
Bri.
Because that would be an awesome demolition derby van.
The bastard.
Yeah, hello.
See where it says "Do not shoot." Where it says "Do not shoot here," the bastard shot there and ruined my engine.
Hello.
I was going to drive it through.
You're really in there.
All right, you
Doing this
gentlemen
crash.
What?
I said, when were we doing this crash? So I can plan ahead.
I don't know. Y'all need to pick a date and let us know. I know the dates that we'll be out of town, so we can get rid of conflict. First weekend in April we'll be gone. The first weekend in second weekend in June we'll be gone. July we'll be at an event, but we'll be close to home.
No, we'll be in Michigan, and that's also Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I got Michigan and Pennsylvania that I got to figure out dates for. Those should be in July.
August is Pennsylvania.
August I'll be in Pennsylvania
And Wisconsin.
and Wisconsin.
You suck.
I can't help it. I get paid large amounts of money to play with toy trucks.
Nice. Oh, that's right.
Is that the event you were talking about in Pennsylvania? We were talking about it before. Taking the trucks up.
Yeah, that's the 12-hour enduro event.
Just the second one.
Oh no, taking the mud trucks down. That'll be in Louisiana, and I'm waiting on the dates for that. That truck's gone wild.
Oh yeah, I heard that was a good time.
They are insane. It's not a family-friendly event, especially since Sean says he's going to end up on the back of my stripper pole in the bed of the truck.
Wait, which Sean?
Sean G.
I was going to say I never agreed to that.
But Saruk, you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. I could.
We could do an experiment. We could jump the truck and then time how long it takes to come back down and prove gravity's acceleration. But I'll probably be way too drunk for that.
Yeah. Well, we could do an experiment and see what happens when you hook a bungee strap to it and just tow people through the mud.
Oh yeah, we could do that too. And I also have old inner tubes for launching water balloons at other trucks in the mud.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, you can use an old inner tube and launch a water balloon about 50 yards pretty easy if you fill them correct.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
So Trucks Gone Wild is like a redneck mud pit strip club dance club all rolled into one event.
Did you abandon your stream?
Crash is gonna have on his Daisy Duke.
Ooh.
Nice.
Negative. Crash will have on his black jeans and his boots and no shirt. Pretty much the only thing you got to worry about is if you see me strap my helmet on and I pull them harnesses tight, it would probably be a good idea to throw one of the spare helmets on and make sure your harnesses are at least straight.
Oh, I'd be totally strapped in to begin with. That's like everywhere, as soon as I get into a car. Click, 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 click. All right, let's roll over.
If I'm just easing out into the mud pit to go sit there and party for a little bit, it's one thing. If somebody starts baiting me on to see if I can actually make it through the deep bog, then it's I have a really bad habit in that truck of just putting my right foot through the floorboard and saying, hold on and see what.
I'm just listening at the moment, trying to get the gist of the conversation.
What conversation?
Yeah, it's bollocks. It's bollocks, bro.
Yes, and now because Sean abandoned us.
No, I think he's muted, but he's still there. Slick James was saying about, gravity doesn't exist. When you throw a ball into the air, the reason it falls is because you put energy into it. But my question was, how could it fall faster down than you throw it up? Where does the extra energy come from? But I
Valid
didn't get the
point.
chance to talk to him about it.
Is he still on Jose's stream?
Because he would have gone, duh, it's not a fact.
We're going in to take care of dogs. Y'all have a good evening. I'll check back in.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Later.
Oh, that's Mrs. Crash and Mr. Crash.
It's the crashes.
What's that picture of the what's like a car with all the bullet holes in? What's that about?
It was my
It's a car with all bullet holes in it.
Yeah, but what's it about? What's the purpose of it?
Like a van.
Well, the conversation started off with the conversation was going from orbital mechanics, then it went to making up a barbecue, and then we're thinking of things what to do at this barbecue.
An hour and a half's not too bad, Sean.
It's shit. Yeah, about an hour. Well, you can find dunes in an hour, but good spot is about 2 hours.
Your intro was 10 minutes, Sean.
No, my intro wasn't 10 minutes.
It said you'd been online for 10 minutes before it started playing.
When? Oh yeah, that's not an intro. That's just the get time for everyone to get here and all that kind of stuff. And then my intro starts after that time goes off.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no. I just play music. I have a playlist that I just play during that time.
Yeah. Sean is correct because Sean is right.
I'm always right. I'm right about everything.
Okay then, Sean. Question. Sean.
You have to ask it first.
No, you have to say you're ready to accept the question from me.
I am me. I'm always ready.
Okay, so here comes the question.
Or we'll have to do therapy on Davros again.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen no matter what.
No. Trigger's not down yet, not all the way. Anyway, big question is, okay, and I don't know if you remember this from yesterday's conversation with Hollywood. My question is, how's he such a fucking idiot?
That was a very interesting question. How does a fucking idiot? Many ways, I guess. not really a well-formed question. Maybe you want to start over?
Okay, why was Hollywood being such a disingenuous, incredulous dickhead?
I don't know. I'm not him.
But you were listening. You were getting a psychological profile. You should know. Sean.
I'm not no, I wasn't getting a psychological profile. I don't do that.
Okay, how come he couldn't answer the question that both you and registered? No, was it Flex?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, the question of did he know the difference between flat and level, and he couldn't answer. I mean, like
I don't
that's
understand.
intrinsically one of the biggest problems.
You're making a comment. You're not asking a question anymore.
No. I said that's one of the biggest problems. And how on earth do you think we're going to be able to get that over the line to be able to explain to them how it is not a correct statement?
You can't. They have to. I can only give them the information. If they don't want the information, then I'm done. That's why that conversation lasted only but 45 seconds with me and him. The second I asked him, do you understand? And he didn't want to answer it, I'm done. The conversation's not worth having. That's why.
Oh yeah, we don't pay taxes.
Say again, Skyfly?
Are you still alive, mate?
Am I still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still alive.
Not a live. Are you still live on YouTube?
Skyfly, I'm confused. I am still live on YouTube, yes.
Okay, so I didn't know because I had to close the page because I had too many tabs open. So I thought, well, sorry, I'll close it because I've already watched like most of it.
Oh,
it was affecting his IQ.
I've just got I've got a quick question for Gleam in the chat. He says, and I've heard this so many times, a galaxy rotation curve problem is positive proof in favor of the flat Earth model. That's awesome to say that it's positive proof. Do you have a citation for that on how the galaxy rotation curve problem in any way relates to flat Earth and where the two are mentioned in a singular paper that has been peer-reviewed to death?
It would actually be the complete opposite. It would go against the flat Earth model.
I actually make no statements and no assertions on that. I am simply asking, present evidence or shut the fuck up with the bullshit.
Agreed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, not only is that not a correct statement, Gleam, it actually goes against your statement. Talking about it goes against your statement. Everything about your statement goes against your statement. He
actually provided a citation earlier about the ether being dark energy, and a paper that didn't mention aether at all. What was it? Oh no, that mentioned aether but not dark energy, and nothing to do with refraction that he was trying to tie it to, or banded refraction. And even at the end in the summary, it says that this is now a defunct and redundant, train of thought and methodology. It's like you've just provided a citation that says it's irrelevant. And the weird thing about the citation, it also said the Earth was a sphere.
Yeah, that's another thing. So, I used to be so guilty of this, so guilty. Read the whole source that you were providing before you provide it as your proof. That happens quite a bit, where you read something and you read something that makes you go, ooh, and then you go, read that, without reading the whole thing, because at the end it goes, ether is bullshit. Yeah, that part.
I think it's really funny because Dow from Beyond the Imaginary Curve has tried to dox me by playing a video that I willingly uploaded to YouTube for anyone to watch, and he played it on his channel.
I'm surprised Dale can wipe his own ass.
Yeah, and all he's done is proved gravity, because I fell out the sky in an accident in an aircraft where it went into a tumble back in 1997. And that just proves gravity. It's all gone quiet. What's happened?
I'm reading Gleam's last little thing.
I'm breathing.
Roasting people in the chat.
That's good,
How is
Terry.
it down there? How is it down there, Terry, at the moment?
I'm just saying, every once in a while, someone does have to put a mirror under Terry's nose. It's just the way it is at that age.
Well, Terry's upside down. You've got to remember that. He's in Australia.
I didn't know dust could breathe.
Damn. I think they're time travelers. You can't believe anything they say.
I like Terry's show. It's always funny.
Played a blast the other night. Rating gems.
I'm always trying to be serious. I didn't realise I was being funny.
I would like to hear what Hannah had to say. I want to hear what Hannah had to say, because she had an absolute ball last time she was on the show.
Oh, you said a bowl.
A ball? A ball?
Yeah,
Oh, we
just
had
because you're
a
foreign,
blast.
Sean. Yeah, just because you're foreign, Sean, doesn't mean you can't understand English. It's just your
I'm not.
misconception of how
Sorry,
to say the
buddy.
word ball.
Just because you say something doesn't mean it's true. So, again, you referring to me as
foreign American languages, I don't even know what you're saying.
foreigner is
Can't
ridiculous.
talk at the same time. We can't understand
I know.
gibberish.
I like to hear one person at a time. I've only got 2 ears.
I don't mind hearing all the people at once.
And only half of his one ear works. Anyway,
It's so mean. I think we had 9 people at one time on the panel that night. It was a full house.
Our record on New Year's, I think, was 21.
Wow.
To be fair, when you're on Discord, you don't know anyone else is talking until their name goes wrong. And then, of course, you start talking, so you're not sure if they've heard you or you've heard them.
well, that kind of interrupting isn't a problem. It's when it's when people will start saying something, then someone will start saying something like a minute after, and they just both start monologuing. It's like, I know you hear each other. I know it. It's impossible for you not to hear each other.
Plus, some people use push to talk, so they normally cut out at the end because they've released the button or whatever before they stop talking.
Well, I wish everyone would use. I wish people would use push to talk. It's harder for me because I have the OBS and the Discord that I'm controlling. That's the only reason why I don't. But I prefer people using push to talk because even you get into doing something like I've done it 1,000 times, just sitting here where I'm I don't remember. I'm not using push to talk, and I'm just like, so. Because he always knows I'm right and he doesn't want to hear it. But you're still wrong. No, just in what you say when you back me up is wrong. Yes. Nope. I'm right. No, I'm right. No, because you're never right. But never over me though. So if I say different, then it just is. Exactly. No, I don't like ranch. I'm more of an Italian dressing type. Damn right. The sooner you understand that, Davros, the better it will be for you. They're not. Oh, I did.
Who defended you when Barney was getting all stupid about gravitons?
I don't remember.
Obviously, it wasn't Nathan Oakley.
Oh, Sean, really quick thing. Were you in recently on one of your hangouts? Were you discussing like conspiracy theories, including 9/11, like just in the last 2 days or something?
Yep.
Yep.
Right, that's what the comment was on Ranty's show. I was having an argument with Rumpus. Well, no, I was actually having an argument with fucking Rumpus about the definitions. Because I was having a semantic argument. What is artificial intelligence? And he's going with a clinical definition that you can pull up on Wikipedia and shit. And I'm saying, well, that was probably okay for like 10 years ago, but now I think you need a better classification and all that kind of stuff. And then I put forward mine, and we were arguing about it. And in the middle of arguing, I thought, oh fuck it, I'll check Ranty's channel to see if I can just to see what's on there. And I must have turned it on. And the second I turned it on, there were the bad-mouthed Rumpus. And as I was talking to him, they're like, Rumpus, you need to watch Ranty's channel. And then they started talking about you and something. I think it was Riley that brought it up. And said I weren't actually paying that much attention because it was also writing, but it was nothing good. Put it that way.
Oh, of course.
but at least you got a shout out. There you go.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, the best part about that is Riley is on my chemo list as well. He's so pointless to talk to. I don't have time for it. I've already made him look stupid. I've officially, I know I have audio and visual record of and just demolishing his whole no gravity argument crap. So that's why I don't even entertain him anymore. He can kiss my ass. He's worse than chemo. That's funny.
I kept hearing him say on Ranty's show, yes, but Einstein says gravity's not a force. And it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Read the rest of it, you dickhead.
Hang on. Einstein says gravity was intrinsic to him postulating his relativity theories.
And Einstein's field equations, you can derive Newton's physics from.
He used Newton's.
Them.
He had to use Newton for special relativity. General relativity wasn't around. The whole fabric didn't exist at that time. That's what it makes it even funnier.
But anyway, what's funny is I actually agree with Riley. Gravity is not a force. The gravitational force is a force, just like magnetics is not a force. It's the magnetic force that's a force.
Yeah, you just word solided.
Yeah, Stingray. Next you were saying,
and I have a clip now of you saying you agree with Riley, so you're screwed.
Nice. Well, I actually don't care, so it don't really matter.
Stingray, do you believe in the force of pull? The force of pull.
The force of pull.
Yeah.
Back when I was in my 20s, yeah, definitely.
What about now? Oh, I saw what you said. Yeah.
I got you right there.
Maybe not so much in my mature years, but there you go.
Same page, Stingray. Same page.
I've got the right meme. I've got the right meme exactly for that. Feel bad about masturbating so much? Turns out, according to Imager, I'm a scientist.
That's brilliant. I'm going to use that, Stingray. I love
that. Yes. Well.
The force of pull only occurs in your 20s. As you get older, you don't do it.
Well, you can get someone else to do it for you, so it's fine.
Word.
Oh, that's so funny. Terry's live in 93 minutes.
Well, I'm not going to last that long. I'm looking at my time. And I got another half hour tops. I'm tired. This conversation has obviously dwindled.
Why is it dwindled? Because we could start talking.
Actually,
about
it literally started dwindling when you came.
No, but I came twice.
We're still talking about the force of pull now, aren't we?
I was gonna say TMI, but okay.
Oh, dear, so funny.
Over the chat, I can't put it there.
What's up, party people? That's a trademark, isn't it?
It might as well
What's
be,
up,
right?
party people?
I know I've said that over at Jim's server. I know I've said it almost 1,500 times.
Yeah, and then my reply is, "What's up, party person?"
Well, that's because you're a party pooper.
Why am I a party pooper?
Because it's not a person. It's a people. It's a group. It's a thing.
Yes, but I'm directing it towards you. You are the singular. You are not people. You are a person.
Can't have a party with one person.
You want to bet?
No.
Just bring in the pull force.
I said no. I see what you're doing, Stingray. You're gonna interject and start making rude comments and making everyone talk about jerking off. Thanks, buddy.
Nah. I'm out of here anyway because I've got to go and do some work. So nice speaking to you all and chat later.
What?
Yeah,
Like
he's researched the pull.
at night?
Yeah, he's researching the pull force.
I reckon Stingray should go back to his 20s to see if he experiences.
Yeah, that's it. I wish I could go back to my 20s. No, I haven't. I've got a deadline on the 22nd of this month, and I've got a deadline on the 23rd of next month, and I can't miss them, which means I'm working even now while I'm talking. But I need to concentrate, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, speak to you all later.
Stingray, you have to remember it's a leap year this year, so you've got an extra day.
Yeah, not between now and the 23rd of February. I don't.
True, yeah, true.
Catch you later.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Adios, amigo. That's Spanish. Sean, I've been looking at translating audio to text, and I found one program, but you have to pay for it.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, Sean's in trouble.
Which one?
Crickets? Much? Dead air? Much?
Be right back. He's typed in the chat. Sean's obviously gone to see if he's still 20. He wants to check out the pulling force.
What's it mean if I advance to level 2?
That means you typed something in the chat.
Ah, okay.
I got told off by Hannah earlier for typing my rank. Don't start that, she said. Oh, GPS is up there. Look, number 1, level 10.
Yeah, GPS and I are the kings of the server.
No, it just means you spend the most time on it, talking complete bollocks.
Oh, bollocks. I had Sean screaming for me, come in and explain this bloody Geo-Corona.
I actually cut and paste my own rank and then changed it to level 1. Level 33, rank 1. The GPS got upset because he thought it was real, but it was just an edit of the original picture. And then we exchanged some Family Guy pictures. It was quite funny yesterday. Obviously, people in the chat won't know what we're talking about. On the server, you've got like a rank based on how much time you spend on it, really.
Well, it's the amount of input into the text that you put.
Yeah, I think GPS is actually added to the Nitro boost, whatever you call it. So you get extra smiles and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't, and I'm sitting just below him, so that's bollocks.
Yeah, I think I was number 4 at one point. I'm number 6 at the moment.
Yeah, because you had like a day or two where you weren't showing up in the server, so
yeah, I didn't bother logging off for a couple of days. Yeah,
but still, 6 isn't too bad.
No, I'm actually level 6. No, I've just gone to level 7, so I was 6-6, which is almost well, it's what would Russian Vid say about that? 6-6.
Oh, you'll need a transvestigation if you got 6-6, mate.
Oh, No Name says I'm much easier to hear. That's because I'm not talking upside down, am I, in Australia? I don't have kangaroo stuck up my arse.
We don't have any kangaroos.
You don't have kangaroos?
No, they all died.
Oh, in the bushfire, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well,
And the koalas.
Considering we've lost 500 million animals.
Did it? Oh, that head. That's weird. Did the bushfire spread to the Philippines and that?
Oh,
no, they weren't that bad.
Well, actually, they were, Terry. Papua New
Were
Guinea,
they?
Solomon Islands, they were on fire. But they weren't from us. They were just on fire.
I watched the fire engine. I think it was on your show, Terry. They were driving down the road and it stopped. Another fire engine was ahead of it and realised there was a fire coming through, and it reversed really quickly and bashed into the other fire engine.
Yeah, I know. They were panicking to get out of there.
Yeah, you saw the flames shoot across the road, and I'm guessing from my experience of life, basically, that was at least 50 miles an hour. That flame went from one side of the road to the other side of the road. And obviously, the road's 2 lanes wide, so you're talking probably
about 5 meters,
18, 20 feet.
Yeah, about 5 meters. Yeah.
And I just thought, you wouldn't stand a chance, would you? Did you see that fire engine? And they got like them yellow plastic bits on the wheel nuts to see if they've come loose, and they've all melted.
You ever seen a Smithy's furnace and what happens when